Welcome back to the program, and joining us now for stories on what's trending is Ojy Okpe. Hello, Ojy. Good morning.
Hello, Leila. Good morning. Good morning, Tundu. Good morning, Dr. Bati. How are you guys?
Good. You?
All right. And good morning to you, viewers. We begin what's trending today in Nigeria. Human rights activist Ibinehe Effiong has lambasted President Muhammadu Buhari for embarking on a 3-week foreign trip without handing over to Vice President Yemi Osinbajo for the second time this year. In a statement, Effiong said the president was lawless and has gotten away with murder. He accused the president of not following due process by not complying with the mandatory requirement of Section 145 of the Constitution. Back in April, Effiong had sued Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation over the president's failure to hand over power to Osinbajo. The case was filed before the Federal High Court in Lagos. In response to that case, the presidency said there was no constitutional requirement for him to hand over to the vice president, and that the only time he needed to do so was when he was proceeding on leave or going to be out of the country for more than 21 days.
Well, I think I addressed this yesterday, Leila, when I said, look, the president is within the constitutional threshold. Yeah. It's only if he stays out, beyond 21 days that, the National Assembly could pass a resolution. But in any case, the vice president, as his deputy, constitutionally recognized, automatically will act in the absence of the president. But under Section 145, I'm not too sure that there is, any clause there that says that the president must, or shall, whenever he's not around, send a notification to the National Assembly.
I think it states that when it's going on.
What that section says is that when he goes and he transmits, a letter, the vice president shall act until the president communicates to the National Assembly to the contrary. So there is an opening there, in that section 145, which, gives the president the discretion to write a formal letter or not. But in principle, once he's not around, it is assumed that the vice president remains the vice president, and he could act on his behalf. The people who raise the concern, they raise the concern because he's already gone to Saudi Arabia, for about 4 days. But that's an official assignment. That's an official visit. And then he spends maybe 1 or 2 days in Umrah, and then he leaves by Sunday, this weekend, for the UK, and then he returns by November 17th. So I really do not see any big problem here, But in any case, Ibinehe Effiong has gone to court, so I hope he gets what he's looking for. But I don't think we should heat up the polity unnecessarily.
Well, I think what his point is that on the Constitution, it says that it's when he goes on vacation that he's supposed to transmit that letter to the President of the Senate as well as the House of Rep. And so the issue is that the presidency has not said what the private visit is. So
no,
is it
I think they made it clear that he's going
vacation?
for medical checkup, having been quite busy, South Africa, Japan, Russia, Saudi Arabia. And, the president of the country is entitled to an occasional vacation.
Yeah. All right, well.
But the question you may ask is, how many times should he go on vacation in a year? But that's not.
But I mean, is that in the Constitution? I mean, yes, exactly. How many times or how? But I think it's the fact that it's the medical visit or the private thing. It's not an official visit. So what he's saying is that during that period of time, he should be able to hand over to the vice president as. The Constitution says. Whether or not it is not stated that it's a medical or a vacation, it's a period of time that he's not in the office. And so that's the question here. But I thought that it was such a graphic way of describing the president as being so, unlawful, lawless, and all of those things.
That is not established.
Yeah.
That is not established.
Exactly. I thought it was, exactly. I thought that was a little bit too harsh. Yeah. Well, let's take a story under entertainment in the UK. TV presenter Samira Ahmed has taken the BBC to tribunal this week, arguing that she was paid a sixth of what Jeremy Vine earned on a very similar job. Ahmed says she was paid £440 per episode on an audience feedback show, Newswatch, while Vine received £3,000 per episode for his Points of View show. The BBC's legal team argue the two presenters were not doing similar work. Journalists' union, the NUJ, has described the BBC's gender pay gap as monumental. In response to Samira's claims, the BBC insisted that it is committed to equal pay, explaining the pay difference occurred due to the fact that Vine's show is entertainment and Ahmed's program was news. I mean, I think this is...
I'm just so pleased that we're way beyond where the West are. In many ways, with regards to feminism, we don't have this problem in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Well, I've never heard it.
Equal pay is a worse issue in the States and the UK than it is here.
Than it is in Nigeria.
Here, men and women get paid the same for doing the same work. If there are, discrepancies in pay, it's to do with maybe experience. It's fair.
Yes.
It's got nothing to do with gender. So kudos to us on this
At least we're getting it right
on this one part of it.
In many ways, we're a lot more stronger.
We're a lot more progressed
stronger
in our
feminist values than they do.
We do.
Well, I mean, workplace discrimination is a big issue, either in Europe or the United States. It's about equal work, equal pay.
Yes.
But, there have been issues in terms of gender pay gap. This is not the first time that the BBC will be taken to court. In 2018, Carrie Gracie, the Scottish journalist, took the BBC to court. And in her case, she won. She got, money paid back to her. But she then donated the money to charity.
She did.
And she said she just needed to prove a point.
Make a point. It wasn't really more.
That you cannot discriminate against me on the basis of gender.
Yes.
But in the case of Samira Ahmed, I think she's still before the employment tribunal. The case will go on for a total of about 7 days.
7 days, a week.
It will be interesting to see what the employment tribunal decides. But you know also that in the U.S., you have the famous example of the United States women's soccer team. In fact, 28 of them who were at the last World Cup went to court to complain about gender pay gap.
Yeah.
And of course, that team led by Megan Rapinoe, is quite highly political.
So vocal.
Very political and vocal anti-Trump, soccer team. So we have these instances, but, workplace discrimination is something that at the level of principle, we can't condemn.
But we don't know what's going to happen.
They should learn from us on this one.
They should. But we don't know what would happen in the tribunal, because basically what they're arguing, what the BBC is arguing, is that when Samira came on the program, her predecessor was male, and he was earning exactly that amount of money. And that, entertainment and news are two different markets, which is true. But the fact is that it is the same kind of job. It is an audience-based show, and I don't see any reason why that it is a sixth of what he's earning. That's the gap is monumental.
It's like the pay gap.
It's huge.
It's crazy.
Yes.
It's actually crazy. And really and truly, when you get down to the bottom of it, and all these cases that come forward, you really and truly see that they have no reason not to give equal pay in half the cases that they're arguing that they don't need to give equal pay
for. But the issue also is personal. Some people's negotiating skills are a lot stronger. And it's often said of women that women do not ask for raises. Women sort of shrinking wallflowers when it comes to putting themselves forward. What's that lady, Sheryl Sandberg, about how women walk into a boardroom and sit on the sidelines. We don't sit at the table. So there are lots of ways that... But not here. That's the thing.
You have not seen some women who will be struggling for the chair with you.
Yes, but that's not here. In the West, so we are way ahead of them. They need to come and see how we assert ourselves.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think so too. That's a very valid point that you just made. Well, kudos to us.
Ojy, who can push Ojy? Nobody.
Why me, Dr. Bati? Why me on this table? No, that one I will clearly not agree. You cannot pay me that. I mean, Dr. Bati, please, how much are you earning? Let's discuss it now. Bring it out to the table.
Next story, please.
Let's lay it out right now. All right, still under entertainment, Netflix has come under criticism from filmmakers over a new feature that allows viewers to speed up or slow down its programs and movies. The function, which is still on trial, allows mobile users to watch its content at various different speeds, from half the normal speed up to 1.5 times faster, and is reportedly only available on Android mobile phones. Filmmaker Brad Bird, whose film include Mission Impossible and Ghost Protocol, said the feature was another cut to the already bleeding out cinema experience. In response, the streaming giant said they regularly test new features that could help improve streaming and that the test has generated a fair amount of feedback both for and against, stating that the feature has long been available on DVD players and has been frequently requested by their members. I'm
all for it, actually.
You would be.
Yeah. A lot of viewers will be off for it.
You listen to a podcast and you can fast forward your podcast speed. Why can you not watch a movie? It will save you on data. It will save you on time. Let's say a movie is 3 hours, like The Dark Knight.
You guys ruined the album.
We ruined the cinema
everything.
experience.
You ruined albums. You ruined the music industry as well. You ruined books. Yes.
Tapes.
Because everything has to be
I love books, though. I will give that one. I love reading. I do.
Why
can't you just watch it?
You should watch it. I support the filmmakers on this
No, but
one
I think it'll also encourage a lot more people to actually watch films because there's so many people that don't have the data. They don't have the data or the time to watch a 3-hour movie, but they're like, hey, now I can do it in an hour and a half.
But what if you miss like a massive plot twist or something?
Yeah, but then you're not somebody who wanted to get it.
No, you don't want to do that. I mean, I think watching a film is very... Well, you know, also, the fact is that Netflix is in huge competition.
Honestly.
Well, I'm here now.
You must be the exception.
I think I am.
You just want to consume as much content as possible.
Yeah,
I think it's a content.
In a day, you're like, I'm going to just squeeze in.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I personally wouldn't use that feature, but I do see why that feature
I do not believe you. I can't believe how your face lit up when I
think that is great because when I listen to podcasts, for example, I can fast forward my podcast times to the speed, and I know what's going on. So if people can know what's going on,
why can't you just listen to it?
People don't have time.
Savor the moment. Where is this rush?
But I think that they're going to introduce it. They said that they haven't put it on TV yet. They put it on mobile because, I mean, it makes sense because obviously when you're on the go,
on DVDs.
You want to, when you're on the go, you want to quickly finish your film. And I mean, this is all a strategy for them to keep, up in their game because of all the competition that they're facing right now in the market.
Sure
there's so much competition against Netflix. So it is important that they do it.
The feedback from the market
seems like it's going to be on TV.
Will be useful to them.
Yeah, I think it's going to go on TV.
They will do an assessment of the feedback and then determine what is best for business.
Yes, but I mean, their members are asking for it, and why not? The filmmakers should find
it on cable TV. Actually,
Yeah.
you can fast forward.
Well, I don't watch movies anymore. I have no more patience.
I don't understand. Really?
I have no patience. I could only go to the cinema now to watch movies.
I haven't been to the cinema in so long. You see, I watch all my movies on Netflix. Everything.
That's why, Layla, you are one of them.
I disapprove.
I'm sorry.
I have Netflix on my phone. I've never been able to find a time.
When you're in the car,
I know why. Can I just tell you why?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Instagram is bigger than Netflix for Dr. Abati.
Oh yeah, that's what I
It is so much. But now that you have Netflix that you can fast forward, don't worry, it'll be better that you can watch all your videos right now. All right, well, finally, under entertainment in Nigeria, Afrobeats musician Wizkid has been nominated for the 2019 Soul Train Music Awards scheduled to hold on November 17th in Las Vegas. Wizkid was nominated in the Best Collaboration and the Songwriters Awards category for his collaborative song, Brown Skin Girl, with Beyoncé. This nomination makes it the third time Wizkid has made the nominees list for the Soul Train Awards. He was nominated for Best Dance Performance in 2017 for his song Come Closer, and in 2016 for the Rhythm and Bars category for his song One Dance. The Soul Train Music Awards is an annual award that honors the best in Black music and entertainment.
I
know.
Yes.
I have fingers crossed for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew this was going to happen for Wizkid with that collaboration, Brown Skin Girl. It's such a viral tune, and I think that it is a great song. And of course, the message is so empowering. I mean, why not? I think that he should.
Well-deserved award.
I think that he should get it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.